Hey guys, Dan Howman back with another video. We have seen a rejection from the top of the bear flag during the FOMC meeting. Normally we have a big push down on the 14th of every month. That didn't happen. We had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row, which seems plausible that this might have been manipulation, especially with these little tiny baby candles, to try to get people very bullish, trap some more longs. And we even had this fake breakout on top of this bear flag, and it looks like potentially we were going to try to move up to the bull market support band, and then we have rejected. FOMC made it a little bit worse. We had some tensions in the Middle East, some oil depots set on fire or something like that, and just wanted to go through a couple little news things from FOMC and kind of my outlook over the next couple weeks here. So let's go. All right, very first thing, I thought this is interesting. Reposted it from RD. 2018 bear market had 5 relief rallies before the final bottom. Average size 50%, duration 27 days. 2022 bear market had 5 relief rallies before the final bottom, average size 34%, and average duration 30 days. 2026 bear market had 2 so far, average 24%, average duration 47 days. So you can see it's getting a little bit slower and lower, right? So smaller rallies that last longer, so they're not moving as quickly. But notice the pattern, each cycle's rallies got weaker and slower. This means for the rest of the bear, we get more sideways chops and boring ranges as volatility on the way to the bottom reduces. But interesting, both had 5 before they were bottomed. So interesting, very interesting. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then this big spill there. But yeah, so I think we still have a while to go in the bear market. We could see some relief rallies. Those are definitely possible. And sometimes we get the biggest relief rallies actually in bear markets. So we'll really see what happens here. But, we had this Fed. This is kind of like a summary, a nice little summary from his statements yesterday. I didn't watch it. I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to watch it live. But inflation in the U.S. remains somewhat elevated. Economic implications of the Iran war are uncertain. Near-term inflation expectations have risen due to rising oil prices. I can already see that at the pump. I think we just hit over $4, and we were below $3 just a couple months ago here in Michigan, at least. Fed's long-term inflation target remains at 2%. Last year's rate cuts bring rates to plausible estimates of neutral. Higher energy prices will push overall inflation up. The Fed is now what appears to be in a long pause. There was even some talk from him about rate hikes, I heard, and it seems like maybe there's only one cut priced in this year and one cut priced in the next year, which is pretty pretty bearish for rate cuts, and I really wanted to refinance my mortgage. So we'll see what happens. But halt rate cuts for the second straight meeting. Fed projects 1 rate cut. So this was before his speech, right? So this was 2 o'clock. Yeah, they released the paper at 2, and then Fed Jerome Powell talked at 2:30. This was potentially his last. I think he has one more FOMC meeting that he will lead in April, and then if Warsh, the new guy, comes in and gets confirmed, he will, I think, replace Jerome Powell. If not, Jerome Powell could stay as acting chair for a while. So we'll see what happens. But Fed projects 1 rate cut in 26 and 1 in 27. So this was a huge change compared to what it was before. I think it was like 3, 4. I don't quote me. I didn't look at the dot plot again, but it was something pretty much higher than that. So 2026 PCE inflation forecast revised higher to 2.7. Fed says implications of the Middle East are uncertain. Fed Governor Moran dissents in favor of an interest cut. So we had one person out of everyone, 11-1, one person saying that we should cut interest rates because the labor market is looking like it's on the verge of going into a recession. Today's 11-1. We believe December was Fed Chairs Powell finals rate cut. Wow, for Powell. Okay, so that's April potentially, or later if Warsh doesn't get approved as the next chair. So interesting. This is where we're at right now. Now, the Camel Finance indicator is saying that we could have a potential cycle low over here. It's interesting. It's giving different versions depending on which Bitcoin chart you look at, but it says we could potentially have a daily cycle low in the window right now, or if you're looking at the chart that he likes to use, Bitstamp, it has one for maybe beginning of April. We could see a pump into March. Usually April, historically, historical performance, usually rhymes, doesn't always, it's not the Bible here, but we could see another pump up, and we could even come into this long-term resistance. So if we like clean up the chart a little bit here, let's just go to like nothing here. You can see this, if you draw a line through these two highs, we could potentially come back up and retest this. So it does look like right now we were rejected here, and we might eventually fall out of this, but it doesn't have to. You can see we could be somewhere like right here where we could come down, come back up, and then finally retest it. We could do something very similar to that for Bitcoin. We could definitely do something very close to that. I had shorts open on Bitcoin on DOT because I thought we were going to break down here. I had shorts on NEO. I closed my NEO short for like a 40% profit. I'm still in my Bitcoin and DOT shorts. So if you want to trade, affiliate link below for Bitunix is my favorite exchange. And also I have a premium membership now available on the channel for $5 a month if you want to get trades, personal assistance, access to the private Discord, all of that fun stuff. Feel free to do that. Indicators, all sorts of things. So I'm working on that. I just went live, so I'm trying to get a lot of content for that. But yeah, that's what we got going on here. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I have a feeling that we could potentially come down, maybe a little pump up, maybe down here, and then maybe come up to, this line and then finally break down. Something like that is definitely potentially possible. We could also just literally turn around right now if we get some, I don't know, some really good news. We could come up here and we could even break above this, another fake out into this support and then back down. So that is possible as well. You can see bull market support band is up here and is going to probably continue coming down. So we have not touched the bull market support band. We got really close right here. We did not touch it. And we have, we don't usually see this, but we have not touched the bull market support band in quite some time. So maybe we're due to come up here, but this is looking like we really want to break out of this bear flag. Another interesting thing is I kind of developed this little indicator that I've just been messing with. I haven't published it yet, but where did I do it? So here's the dump lines I was talking about, the 14th. Usually we dump on the 14th. As you can see, we didn't dump on the 14th, but we did dump now, and this could continue down. Also, FOMC, we usually dump during FOMC. So I think it's like 8 out of 8 of the last FOMCs. We've had quite big dumps after the FOMC meeting. So that is potential. But I was messing around with a bottoming indicator here, and it's kind of interesting. So if we turn on my little bottoming indicator, if we go look into, let me go into, yeah, here's the total crypto market. Oops. I basically have this indicator that I was messing around with, trying to find the different, God, I hate when it does that. Whenever you make an indicator, I don't see a way to turn off this labels and inputs in the status line by default. But anyways, so if we go look, let's go on the weekly just to make it a little bit more obvious. But as you can see here, I basically made this indicator that uses some different averages, some different moving averages, like the 20 SMA and the 100 SMA, and then the 20 SMA and the, is that the same? No, 200 SMA, and then we have like, oh, this was, sorry, this was on the 1 week, this is on the 4 day, this is on the 4 day chart, a 30 EMA and a 200 EMA, 1 month chart, 8 EMA, 21 SMA, and then this one is one I was messing around with the HMA, which is another type of moving average, 1 day, and it basically, whenever they cross, it puts a line and a symbol on the chart. So if you can see back here, when these moving averages crossed, the bottom was in, okay? There was one sweep in 2015, but generally the bottom was in right when most of these moving averages crossed. Does it work before that? No, because the moving averages are too long. And then if we look in 2018, this one got the bottom exactly. I was messing around with this fifth one, just trying to get a little bit of a later indicator, because the first and second cycle here bottomed and it got this perfectly. For 2021, it said the bottom was right here, but I think this was the FTX collapse. So most likely this was Was this the FTX collapse 2022? Is that right? I forget now. But anyways, this one got the bottom, and then we had this big sweep of that bottom later. So I tried to make this indicator to kind of hit that one, but it's this one has said that we've potentially seen the bottom if this history repeats. Now, you can see momentum is slowing. So since this is moving averages crossing, this may not be true because the thing that has been really apparent is like the 4-year cycles. I have another indicator for 4-year cycles. But the thing that's been very apparent is the 4-year cycles are definitely here, and they are definitely, where's my 4-year cycle? Cycle dates. Here we go. It's very apparent that the 4-year cycle is playing out very true, right? So every time from the halving, we have 426 days, 549 days, and 534 days. But another fact is pretty much after the high, it's about 1 year exactly until we get to the bottom. Eventually, this may not play out, but you know, if this is true, it's not going to be till like October-ish that we're going to see a bottom for Bitcoin. So it's just, I don't know. There's definitely some conflicting evidence in multiple different ways about when we're going to see a bottom. And obviously it's impossible to predict it. I mean, you can guess and get pretty accurate in the meantime here, but we're also kind of just building this nice little Christmas tree pattern, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we got one more down. I doubt we're going to go all the way back to the 16,000 we went to before. I still think we could potentially see high 30s at the worst case. And we could bottom, you know, in the 50s, which, you know, we've already seen 59,800 or something like that. So the bottom could be in. I think that's the lowest probability. I still think we come down for a little bit more. I have sold a good amount of my crypto stocks actually about 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm quite happy I did because we saw quite a big tank. I have a big short open on the SPY. Again, if you want to sign up for my premium membership, I go through all my holdings and all my trades in public here. I guess I could show you the Discord real quick. So I'm just developing it, obviously, because I just went live on this, but I have basically I show my holdings and I show, you know, when I cleared out stocks. You can see 317 2 days ago. I sold a bunch of my mining stocks at like 20 to 50% gains. I wanted to clean up because I do think we're going to go a little bit lower. I also have my leverage trades. You know, here's my DOT and Bitcoin short. So anyways, feel free to hit that join button if you are interested. And yeah, you can see a lot of these crypto stocks took a big hit. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens for sure. I am looking to get into a lot of these at very low prices. I am hoping we go a lot lower. I am holding a lot of cash, kind of assuming we're going to go through some sort of a recession and hopefully bottom near the end of this year. My base case is still October, again, because, you know, if we look at these cycles, this is what we got going on, right? A lot of times we have followed this very closely, and it looks like we are continuing to follow this. And, you know, I'm thinking maybe October we see another bottom. It seems like nothing has changed here. And, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and that's going to be it for the video. Again, affiliate links below if you want to do any trading. Another thing, USDC. Yeah, this one had a nice USDC plus USDT had a nice little pump over the last 3 days. Yeah, that's what we got going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. New channel membership, feel free to join, and affiliate links below for Bitunix and Coinbase and even Fidelity if you want to get some stocks. So that's it. Have a great day. See you guys.